Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nice Science. Let's get this video started. So today I kind of wanted to take a trip down memory lane, talk about some nostalgic stuff. Specifically kind of like how I got started playing Monster Hunter and why the series has kind of become so important to me. As kind of its own separate hobby from video gaming, right? Monster Hunter is kind of its own separate hobby to me. I'll get into that in a bit, but first let's talk about how I got into Monster Hunter. So I first got into Monster Hunter games almost exactly 15 years ago, which is part of why I'm making this video, because, kind of like my 15th anniversary of being a Monster Hunter player, right? Which feels pretty good, I gotta say. Feels pretty good. But yeah. So basically, how I even got introduced to the series was I was at GameStop. I don't know if they had these, all of them, but at least our GameStop, and maybe it was Walmart. Our GameStop and our Walmart both had like these bins of basically trash games that they just couldn't sell. And they'd be like $1 or $2. And I was just like digging through, essentially the trash bin, looking at different games. And I grabbed Monster Hunter, and there's a dragon on the front. And I still am a huge fan of dragons. I love dragons. They're, such a sick mythological creature. And there was a dragon on the cover, and I'm like, I'm buying that. And this game looks sick. I didn't read the back or anything. I saw the cover, and I was like, I'm getting this. And so I got it, and I started playing it. And it was rough. Monster Hunter 1 is rough. If you don't know the control scheme in Monster Hunter 1, I won't spoil it. If you've never played Monster Hunter 1 and you're a Monster Hunter player, you should go play Monster Hunter 1. Get yourself an emulator or something. Grab it, buy yourself a copy of the game or something, and play Monster Hunter 1. It is an experience. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's an experience. Monster Hunter 1 definitely seems like it was kind of like the prototype of the series, right? And obviously it got a lot better in Freedom 2, Freedom Unite. Can't remember. Yeah, Freedom Unite. Well, the Freedom 2 came out in the West, right? Pretty sure it did. That's Monster Hunter 2, for those that don't know. So yeah, I picked up Monster Hunter back in late 2007, and I started playing. I think at this point, Freedom 2 might have been out, maybe not. Freedom Unite was definitely not. I think that came out in what, early 2010? Maybe it was 2009. I don't remember. But yeah, so I played Monster Hunter 1 for maybe like a year and a half. I didn't have like any handheld console or any handheld consoles or anything at this point. I had like a PlayStation 1 and like a PlayStation 2 and maybe a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or something. And I just absolutely fell in love with the game. Even though it was super scuffed, I fell in love with it, right? And I played it pretty seriously. I used to do speedruns in Monster Hunter 1. I did that. I used to actually speedrun in Monster Hunter 1, Freedom Unite, and 3 Ultimate. Or the 3 games that I played, like, seriously. I stopped playing the game seriously in Monster Hunter 4. Partially because I was just kind of starting to focus on other games at that point. And it's like, sort of my main focus, I think it was around that time that I was starting to get into competitive fighting games. And I basically just didn't have time to try and play Monster Hunter at high level, right? So I started playing the games more casually. And this eventually is actually, because I started playing them casually, is why Monster Hunter ended up becoming such an important thing to me, believe it or not. Because essentially I started to feel like I wasn't really playing. So part of the appeal to me of Monster Hunter is the feeling of hunting the monster, right? Engaging in a hunt with the monster, back and forth. And speedrunning never really felt like that to me, right? Speedrunning felt like I was beating the game, not that I was fighting the monster. And that's why I kind of ended up speedrunning. But I'm getting distracted, right? I'm getting distracted. Or I guess I'm not. That's kind of the point of this video, right? We're going down memory lane here. Speaking of memory lane, man. When I finally saw Rathalos in game for the first time, I was so excited. And then that bastard went and took a nap off the map. I'll never forgive him. I'll never forgive him for letting monsters sleep off of the map. That is so messed up. It's so messed up that monsters could do that. And yeah, so I guess let me talk about how I became a Lance main as well. Basically, it was just because Lance was really good in Monster Hunter 1. That's literally the whole reason I became a Lance main. Lance was like busted in Monster Hunter 1, and was definitely the weapon I was the best with by far, because for the majority of monsters, you just could like literally just poke them in the head over and over and over, and you could just like headlock them, like flinch lock them by poking them in the head. It was great. Lance was like so busted in Monster Hunter 1. It was so busted. And that's why I became a Lance main, by the way. That's literally it. I just kind of continued playing Lance through the sequels because that's the weapon I was most familiar with. And but yeah. Anyways, the reason Monster Hunter ended up becoming so important to me, to the point where I would kind of call Monster Hunter like its own separate hobby for me, right? Is I started playing the game casually, and one of the things I've talked about before is basically you need two types of hobbies, right? You need two types of hobbies. You need a for fun hobby, and you need a relax hobby. At least one of each, right? In my opinion. If you want like to have a good mental state, in my opinion, right? And Monster Hunter became one of those relaxed hobbies for me. Monster Hunter is a game that generally I hop on, I mess around with, I have fun with. I don't take seriously. I'm just playing it to relax, right? And that's kind of why if I'm ever start getting frustrated on Monster Hunter, I just turn the game off, right? I just stop playing if I start getting frustrated. But basically, Monster Hunter just kind of became a big sort of crutch for me, right? Anytime I was stressed or anything, I'd just pop open Monster Hunter and spend some time relaxing with some hunting. And I dealt with a lot of stuff throughout the years using Monster Hunter, just having fun with it, right? It's just really important to me. And you know, I gotta say they've done a good job with the series, right? They've done a good job with the series. I'm pretty happy with, and yeah, there are some things I don't like Hunter Arson stuff. I don't like Hunter Arson or the Silverbind attacks. And it's the cooldown attacks I don't like. I'm not a fan of them. I'm really hoping we don't see them in Monster Hunter 6. I don't think we will. But I guess that's gonna be it for this video. I kind of think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. And yeah. Let me know how you guys got started playing Monster Hunter. I'm kind of curious, you know, how did everybody get introduced to the game? Someone who started in World. You know, I feel like if I hadn't picked up Monster Hunter 1 out of the trash bin way back in 2007, I think Monster Hunter World probably might have been the first time I played Monster Hunter. At which point, you know, I would have missed out on years and years of being a Monster Hunter player, right? Pretty sad. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one, alright? Take it easy and have a good one, everybody.